That seems a bit peculiar to me. Usually you're considering maybe more jungle-based if you don't want to have him kind of running all over the place. I mean, we'll have to see with his first item pickup, but nonetheless, where he really is utilized is being able to, of course, dish out the mana. You have the benefit of that nice cooldown reduction and the relocate taxi service for the PL. But look how North American Regis round this out. They used to always go to this hero. We had yet to see it this series, but it is going to be the Lesh pickup now for North American Rejects.
It's a hero that goes really well up against the Phantom Lancer. Later on into the game, when the Phantom Lancer starts getting tankier, you've got Fuse of Blade, and he could just like throw illusions that actually survive more than 2 seconds. He starts diffusing away the Leshrac mana. That is good, obviously. But the Leshrac is actually the superior hero in this matchup when it comes to like the first 30-35 minutes of the game. Leshrac snowballs pretty heavily because they're able to take towers and team fights with this pickup. The illusions, even if he gets a diffusal, don't matter because he kills them so quickly with all of his AoE. And then added on top of that, they've got Undying and all these other heroes to be able to back it up. So I think that North American Rejects did the best they could. Complexity with the last pick, Phoenix team fights, I'm liking it. I think it's really good when you are going up against the Undying, right? Because the Supernova counters the Tombstone in a way, right? The Tombstone's laid out. You say, this is our battlefield. We're taking pretty much any fights in this area, and we're going to be able to win them most of the time. But you lay a Supernova on top of that, and Supernova is going to be the superior force there because the stun and the refresh of the Phoenix is stronger.
Maybe we get to see that fun new interaction between the Nature's Prophet and Phoenix. You sprout up the Supernova egg, and it gets blinded, and you can't see it. I'll give it if they have a Tango or some sort of Quelling Blade, but hey, I wouldn't mind seeing it. That was something that popped up, and I'm like, wow, never even thought of that before. So we'll see if it's something that they're going to end up utilizing here. But let's hop into the action. This is Grand Final America Qualifier stuff, and we are in game number 3. It is match point for call. Apparently, the admin forgot to put the indicators up at the top of the screen, but I assure you, it is 2-0 advantage for Complexity. They win this game. They secure the direct invite to TI5. Yes, NAR will still be able to participate in the wild card, but they want to stay alive here, so they will need this win to try to stretch it to a game 4 and possibly a game 5.
Hold up, Pitmuckle, check out the Leshrac real quickly. Is that one of the new Immortal Treasures?
Oh, it's his weapon.
Yeah, he's got a weapon now.
He's got a weapon now. He's ready to use it. What is that thing? A bow staff?
I have no idea.
I want to see how he uses the spells. I raise it up. I don't think he actually hits with it. He still probably shoots, right? That's
yes. He's not a melee hero all of a sudden, so I'm pretty sure he still shoots. But talking about the lanes real quickly, North American Rejects are going to be running most likely a.
Thanks, Nas. He's letting me know that battle's been terrible, so the qualifier run. But
okay, so they're going to be running dual lanes with the Undying and Spirit Breaker at the top lane. This is a double tank lineup that is super hard to be able to deal with as a harassing support, particularly when you take a look at the supports that you're running with the Furion as well as the Coddle. There is just no power whatsoever, and then being able to push out either one of those heroes, they can in fact put a lot of pressure on the Phantom Lancer. For this laning phase. I actually think this is going to be a great setup for North American Rejects because then they have the Leshrac 1v1 against the Queen of Pain. That's a fair matchup because you just lightning spam them. And then bottom lane, you've got a Witch Doctor zoning out the Phoenix. Pretty good, especially since the Phoenix, Icarus Dive has already been picked up by Moon Meander in an attempt to steal the Bounty Rune. It means that if the Witch Doctor is able to just sit in front of the creep wave and keep the Phoenix out, Moon Meander can't really do anything about that. But you can already see him trying to position very forward. Korok's countering that quite heavily.
He's like, oh, god dang, I gotta get the hell out of there. And that just shows, like, hey, we're asserting our lane dominance like we do. We're NAR, after all. We're known to perform better in the laning stage. So they want to try their best to kind of keep up that forefront. It forces Moon Meander to go early into his salve. So with that, he only has limited regen left, I'd imagine. But we could see some action at the top lane. It's an Undying and a Spirit Breaker, after all. This seems like one of the more manliest, duos you could ask for.
Oh, yeah. Real quickly, I want to highlight the very smart thing that Moon Meander did in that situation. If he got set up in this static, like, oh, the Witch Doctor is keeping me from getting close to the creep wave, he's never going to be level 2. What he did is playing very aggressively, forced the Witch Doctor to kind of fight him with the creep wave right next to him, and also forced Korok to come and help him out. The moment he uses Rocket Barrage, though, it means the wave is going to push, guaranteed. So Moon Meander still gets his level 2, which is critically important.
Oh, look at that. He's going to go with the early Maldic, but look look who suddenly shows up. Z-Freak. A wild Z-Freak appears with a teleport, and now it's the Witch Doctor's in trouble. He's going to get the first blood with it. Oh, a bit of an overdrive coming out. They're going to be able to follow up with the Sprout quickly. They're going to eat the tree and run away, but it's first blood drawn for the second game straight to Complexity.
Yeah, that is a huge win. Them diving so deeply, and I'm not entirely sure why they felt the need to put so much pressure on the Phoenix when it was pretty clear they weren't going to be able to get that kill. They just wanted to chase them out of experience range so badly that they put themselves in a really bad position.
I don't know if they're trying to put too much pressure on themselves to perform, but you got to remember, Nature's Prophet's still in the game. He can be there in a moment's notice. Look at that Swindle jumping out in front to go to Ush here. This is very uncharacteristic. Ush will go down. Oh, man. Swindle taking it to Ush in the mid lane is going to get the second blood of the game for Complexity.
Yeah, you just cannot afford, like, the Leshrac can just spam out the lightning, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can assert lane dominance and sit so far forward, particularly against the Queen of Pain, who was able to utilize the distance between you and the tower to her advantage. Being able to blink ahead of you and just essentially right-click you that whole entire time is something that only a few heroes in the middle lane can really do, such as Queen of Pain and Pop. Leshrac being too far forward, Ush goes down, and the laning phase looking pretty rough, despite the fact that I felt like North American Rejects did a good job with their draft, but things are not looking so good right now.
I don't want to say too. It almost feels a bit tilty here for NAR. This is very uncharacteristic. Ush, known lane dominator.
I mean, they have to be tilted, right? I mean, this is one of the. This is probably the most tilt-worthy scenario I have ever seen.
Can't blame them
in professional Dota. Yeah. I mean, these guys have been playing Dota for so long today. They're dealing with these pauses and stuff, and they're actually having like issues because they're dealing with a little bit more lag than Complexity was, and they don't want to like take the time to pause it out and everything else. Oh, Moon Meander.
Moon, he's playing a dangerous game, testing out that rocket barrage, but he's able to bully back here, and almost more pressure on Ush. Z-Freak even gets on the rotation, but this time Ush is able to back it away from it, so he's going to be all good here. This might be an awkward little side note. I wonder if it does mess with Ush as well. When you have that weapon, I'm sure the attack animation might be a bit different. I wonder if it's easier or harder to go on the CS.
Look at that top lane, though.
Save it. Yeah, they're going to be diving for the Coddle. Coddle, he has no real defensive tools this early on in the game, so he just tries to juke through the trees. And this goes right for the tombstone, able to get down. Blast has come out. Not going to be connecting on anyone here, but here comes the Spear Breaker. This is the better target for him. Can they finish him off? Z-Freak looks to come on help, but they are able to finish off Ziz on his Phantom Lantern. Are they going to get a secondary kill here? No luck in the bash. Oh, they step the Illuminate. Not going to be enough, and now they're going to be able to salve on up. Look at the aggression here. Not looking to pull back quite yet. Z-Freak, though, he's like, I got to get the hell out of here. We'll use his TP, and the dive continues. They're looking to go for Fly. Fly charges up his blast. It's going to do very little damage, only 200 at max, and now Fly got to get bumped. Finally, the bash is able to come out. They're going to be able to get that kill, but it looks like they should be able to get their own return. They will take down the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, very nice. Like, it was good read by MSS to know, like, okay, I can definitely get this kill. Not sure if the trade-off is worth it for him to basically trade himself away for the kill on the Keeper of the Light, essentially, especially since they're already able to establish lane dominance and should be shutting down the Phantom Lancer. I don't think feeding away a counter kill at that point is worth it for you, but still, they do a good job of being able to force those fights. Really great read by MSS to also back out at the right time from that limited blast, heal himself up and go in again. So that's actually very close to just being a complete dominance there from North American Rejects. They hadn't lost that Tombstone. A little bit of disjoint. Z-Freak.
Here comes Moj Storm Stout, the double bump coming on out, but Z-Freak not too sheltered by that. But he also has Ush nearby, and it looks like both of them are going to hightail out of the jungle here. Too much pressure coming on in. Spin Earth right out in front. Not sure what that was exactly, but he's going to look to TP away, and he will make it out. The blast, of course, coming out from Coddle, but it's not going to be enough. He's in the fountain now, healing up and in the safety zone. And look at this. Just thinks he can maybe cut off MSS, but Fog is there, of course, and he's going to have to take the long road back to the lane.
Yeah, that's a big win for North American Rejects. There was 4 heroes that rotated to try and kill that Leshrac. He TPs back to base successfully, and the result is, yes, he loses a little time in the middle lane, but Ziz is completely out of lane now, and he's going to be for like a full minute and a half. So that's a big win for them. And maybe what they need to continue their dominance in this top lane and utilize that to then rotate into middle lane or even bottom and have the Spirit Breaker really start setting up kills elsewhere.
Gosh was able to secure that top bounty room. That means the bottom is going to have to be left for Swindle, so he'll go down and pick up that illusion, but I don't imagine him using it to rotate anywhere quite yet. And Fly, UCC in the top lane, just doing his best to kind of build back the creeps. He'll be able to get some XP himself. I'm actually curious to see, is he going to be going an early value into the mana leak here. It's one of those things you can't underestimate. It gets the full mana drain potential right at level 1. Yeah, the range could be a bit dinky, but it can be very useful. Maybe situations like this, they're trying to make a run for it. And
watch for the claw bottom, though. The Queen of Pain's going to go for a bottom and potentially backdoor and kill Korok right away.
Is the big Sonic Wave is going to be able to finish him off, and they're going to get a twofer here as they take out Chad. A nice successful rotation coming out from Complexity as we continue to see. Ush tries to come in to get a bit of redemption, but it's going to be enough. Just Lightning Storm. They're going to make it back to safety, and Maldic will not be able to finish him off. And nice little cheeky play from Ziz. He's able to use the doppelganger to hop to the other side of the trees. Looking pretty dang good still for Complexity, even though it was a strong prominent up for NAR. I don't know, man. Cole did not seem phased one bit.
I think they really have to get a TP scroll on MSS. I know he's not level 6 yet, but they need a hero that's able to react to those sort of situations, right? The very aggressive play from Complexity showing up in that bottom lane. I think NAR also, ooh, the charge, another quick little doppelganger out. It's so hard to actually be able to kill this Phantom Lance. They can keep him from getting CS, but not necessarily kill him.
I mean, can they really, though? He's able to dish out the Spirit Lance as much as he'd like, almost, with a Coddle nearby. So
that's true.
He'll always get involved a little bit. He got to level 3, and Coddle, so I'm probably going to imagine level up that chakra as much as possible. Plus, that means he can dish out the Spirit Lance more often on top of it. So he'll be able to get a little bit, but and he'll still have mana in reserve to make a quick kill. But it's still not going to be too easy nonetheless here. So see, but this is the peaking point for NAR to really get the most out of it. You always kind of question for an Undying. You know, he's huge in the laning presence, but thereafter, it can be a bit questionable. But here we go. It's NAR pressing their advantage in the top lane with it looks like about 4 of them. Can they take this tier 2?
Well, not very quickly because they don't have Diabolic Edict. They'll kill the waves pretty quickly with lightning spam, but the tower isn't going to go fast as maybe could have. And this just means, like, it may not feel that much of a difference, but it's like 30 seconds that you lose to be able to go back to that middle lane and stop the push that Complexity are currently putting there with the Nature's Prophet and Queen of Pain. That's going to result in probably at least 500 damage.
And that means a trade potentially for Complexity. They had pressure towards this tier 1, but already the first rotation coming out. Fog steps away from the top lane for the first time this game and looking to get involved. Drops down the tombstone here. With that, Complexity need to consider pushing back, but look who's coming in from the south side. It's Ziz making go on to Chad. Chad's in a little bit of trouble. Charges coming on to Swin, but they've already got Chad down. Now Fog running away, weak and wounded. Can he make it out from this wall? Oh, bloodshed all over the place here. In with a now. Ziz is in trouble. He goes down. Follow-up kill on the Swindle, but it's going to be a 3-for-3. A buyback coming out from Z-Freak, looking to teleport right back into the action here. Moon, heavy and involved here. He's able to Icarus dive the hell out of trouble. Blast is going to be sidestepped there from Korok, but here's Z-Freak back into the fray. Gets the sprout off, but there's going to be no additional follow-up, so the buyback might be all for nothing at that point.
I mean, the teamwork there from Complexity was so good. I mean, even just that last little play didn't result in the kill in the gyrocopter, but like Moon Meander dishing out as much damage to Korok and then getting away, it was a little bit dangerous, a little bit of a risk, but he dishes out enough damage to the gyrocopter, then Z-Freak is then able to tap into that fight and go for the gyrocopter, and you know, if you'd actually brought him a little bit lower, Z-Freak could have committed for the kill on the gyrocopter, and it would have been a huge play. But I just that to show how well Complexity are playing and just being able to read situations really well.
Swindle commits almost everything for him, and they're not going to be able to get the kill, but my God, NAR hit pretty damn hard. They're going to even have to consider pulling back, but not MSS. He's looking to get involved right now. He charges on forward to go for Swindle. Swindle's able to blink to get to the high ground here. Moon Meander committed in this one. Nice Illuminate comes out from the Coddle, and with that, they'll have to pull back in a way. No one goes down. Oh, Fog actually ends up going down.
Yeah, Dying ended up coming back because he's got Tranquil Booth. He also has Soul Rip, expecting, okay, I'll be able to kill myself, and then the Furion ultimate cuts his life short.
Oh, man, that is unfortunate there for Fog. He gets dropped 5-9, now your new score, but the big breadwinner still top of the net with belongs to Ush and Korok all the meanwhile, so still holding strong here. You see the charge coming out from Z-Freak. Rotations are coming in here. Z-Freak can't hang around too long. Oh, or can he? Swindle's looking to come on in. They're moving in. Sprout going to be on Fog. They got a nice supernova from behind Fog. He's in a bit of trouble, forced to drop down the tombstone, and there comes the bump through from MSS, making a go on to Z-Freak here. They got Fog down in the meantime. Here comes the call down from Korok, but he does not have a whole lot of extra to offer, and it looks like NAR going to be coming up short in this bottom fight. Ziz steps in, gets off a nice Spirit Lance. Chad eating a bit of damage with the urn, in a bit of trouble here. Is it enough? Oh, 14 life, barely alive.
That's like the third time he's almost paid for no voodoo restoration. They're going to kill Ush, though.
Uh-oh, he dishes the ult as best as he can, but it is clearly not enough. He ends up going down. Chad says, I'm still alive, full. It makes the move in. He ends up taken down from the scream nonetheless. Hands over his life, making it a 3-for-0 all day. It's still Complexity getting so much.
Man, Complexity are just outplaying North American Rejects at every single level. Every single one of these fights, everywhere I look, it's Complexity just hiding North American Rejects every single time. I mean, watch Korok in these fights. He's like trying to center down on one hero, but the Queen of Pain blinks away. The Doppelganger goes out. He just can't see the lockdown anybody. The Phoenix is really an option. In fact, that I think showcased one of the brilliant things about Phoenix against Undying. Like, he just goes in, lays out the Supernova, and the fight goes away from the Tombstone entirely just to get away from the Supernova.
I just feel like Complexity are the kryptonite to NAR's lineup right now. If they manage to take down this game, they're going to be straight 5-0 against NAR if you count their PvP series. It just, like, NAR don't have the code as far as what Complexity really offer. Complexity, they're just looking so damn good. Now the drum going to be complete here from Ziz, so he's kind of stepped away from going straight for the defusal, it looks like, and kind of going more survivability. All the meanwhile, though, look at that. Z-Freak, with the help of Swindle, able to interject, and they get their own kill, taking out Ush again on the Lesh.
Time after time. I mean, this is just Complexity through and through, utilizing a small advantage, or a decent advantage, actually. I can't even say it was small. It was actually a decent advantage that they got in the laning phase, and just building that up so quickly and being able to just snowball from here on out. I mean, you look at Complexity's lineup, right, and you would say, they actually offer split pushing capability here, but it's all team fight for them. It's still the same style, despite the fact that we have a significant change up in heroes.
Uh-oh, Fly moving in, gets into Spirit form, but he gets hit with a Coco, and he is dead. Now Moon dropping Supernova Swindle, looking to make it go on the easy support Chad. Chad could be going down here from the burn. It looks like he will, and they also get the serious grab onto MSS, where you get one, we take two. Complexity still trading for the better here.
Yeah, another Tombstone play that can't do anything for you because the Supernova goes out, they have to run themselves away, and then the chasing capabilities of Complexity come in with the Queen of Pain and the Phantom Lancer. You can't get away from those heroes, at least not too easily. Ush is trying to center up on a quick on Ziz here. If he managed to lead with the Split Earth, he could burst him down, but, oh, he does get it! He will be able to burst him. It looks like Ziz Doppelganger away potentially, but Ush is going to try and chase him, while Z-Freak actually gets a pick off on Korok in the middle, and Ziz gets away. Oh my Nothing is going right for North American Rejects.
This is crazy. It's just ridiculous. It's like seeing an on-par NBA team ball after airball. I'm dumbfounded, and I'm sure NAR feeling that way as well. You want to casually throw out that maybe they're tilting a bit, but this is something else right now that we're witnessing here.
Ush actually went, like, I was expecting his burst damage to be enough. A significant factor here. Diabolic Edict does not help you in killing a Phantom Lancer, at least not really. So he went for like just 2 levels in Split Earth, which I can agree with, but I didn't realize that was the play, and that little bit of loss of damage may have actually played a factor in Ziz being able to get out. Plus the nice juke from Phantom Lancer. Ziz played that wonderfully.
I mean, do you think he had to go more invested into Edict, feeling that his team is pressured to just kind of continue to push objectives because Complexity feel like, oh, we'll just kind of stall out a bit. We know we have a PL who could be a king in the late game. Just seems a bit awkward to have to put more into the Edict early on than the Splitter.
Yeah, most of the Leshrac builds that you're seeing right now are actually 4-1-4 builds with Diabolic Edict to like 7 or 8, usually 8, just to be able to help take towers, but they don't prioritize it over Split Earth necessarily. There's been a few people who have disagreed with that, saying, okay, Split Earth level 2, it's enough that I can be able to land a stun, and I think Diabolic Edict puts out more damage, but in this, the damage over time is a little bit slow. You've got such mobile heroes that I don't feel it's particularly strong in these fights, and then you've got the Phantom Lancer Illusions, who are obviously going to soak up a large share of that damage as well. So I kind of would have preferred the Split Earth, but I think that just comes back to North American Rejects just going, okay, we have to be able to take some tower here and neutralize the tower lead they're holding on to, but the problem is they can't actually take these towers because they have to win a team fight first. And Complexity, they're going to contest them for every single tower that North American Rejects goes to push now at this point. North American Rejects actually just have to try and slow down this game and farm up, or get some sort of smoke gank and a brilliant team fight set up, and even then I think Complexity still comes out on top solely because they're so far ahead.
Just a mild pause, a little bit of a hiccup there. Whew, thank goodness. We'll be able to get right back into the action here, but it's still no surprise. Complexity well ahead. Moon Meander. He's able to throw together the Midas, and in good time, that means he gets to bring in so much more XP. He's actually already level 11. That's like a big milestone when you're playing a Phoenix. You need to get all those extra hits so that your egg is just not that fragile little piece of glass. Now it's going to take a whole lot of extra effort for NAR to really break down that egg. And the longer, as we already have seen, the longer it's able to dish out that serious damage, the more devastating it could be.
So there's Korok's build. He's get the phase boots, a bracer, and a Sange, and going to be building into the SNY next. Not a big surprise. His early stats are obviously meant to be able to help them win the fights, but they aren't doing so, which just means that he's going to be suffering even more later on.
Well, they have vision on Swindle because of the charge, but she is still looking to charge on forward for Korok. Korok going to be eating that Supernova, but he's able to move on in. They get the kill on the Swindle, it looks like. But here comes the return fire. The Supernova egg, will it be popped? Oh, no, no! The last second is able to get out. That means he can escape with the Icarus dive. Steps back, big beam. Gets a triple kill for Moon, but here comes Fog to the return, gets his own double, and now they see Fly. Fly going to get bumped back a bit, but they're not looking to interject on him quite yet. Now it's Fog in trouble. Z-Freak shows up as always, and they're going to be able to get that kill, and when the dust settles, it's a 4 for 2.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good start for North American Rejects, but the Supernova popping there killed the whole entire fight. If they'd actually killed the Supernova, then Z-Freak has teleported in and put himself at serious risk, but the early level 2 Supernova played a huge factor, and again, the Snowball, there's no other way to describe it, right? They just start out with something small, and then even just something like getting your level 2 ultimate wins the fight heavily for you.
MSS playing with fire here. Charges on forward. Confident.
Yeah, you got some serious problems when you just go for a charge TP out and you can't even make it out.
Oh boy, this is not right. This is not right at all. Their tier 2 goes down. Ush has tried to slow them down, but it's not working out right now. Lightning Storm not even going to be connecting. Splitter also. Oh, this is just fumbling one thing after the other. Very unfortunate here for NAR. The Complexity almost moving in circles around them. They get what they want and they get out clean.
Yeah, and they've got even more chasing capabilities with the Rod of Atos pickup. Not sure what that was, though.
I met
Swindle getting picked off.
Doesn't get out quite clean.
I'm presuming it was hiding in the trees and he somehow got spotted, but they are going to have an Orchid up quite soon for Swindle. They almost have the Diffusal for the Phantom Lancer. I mean, Phantom Lancer is joining them and helping them win fights already. Diffusal Blade is going to be huge once it's up. If this game had gone how I predicted, like Phantom Lancer, that pickup wouldn't have been as big, but they're already dominating the fight so heavily that, yeah, that break, that purge, I'm forgetting the name of it, but the active that is allowing you to kill that mana is actually going to be playing a very big factor, because it seems like North American Rejects are not winning the fight. Feedback. There it is. Or Mana Break, I'm sorry. Feedback is the old Dota 1 name for it. But they're not just, like, they're not winning these fights heavily enough. The Illusions are still looking very healthy, and he could just sick them on whatever heroes he wants to. The way I thought this was going to go with North American Rejects getting ahead. Z-Freak, boom! Maybe this is a big pickoff.
Bumps him back. He's forced to pop the blade. He'll try to get away, but the Coconut's there, and he'll try to TP away. Not going anywhere, sir. They dish out a lot of hate. You can feel it. Just NAR. Just, I got to get something going. Well, they're able to get something there. They take
five heroes, and they barely kill a Furion. Oh, barely. He almost TP'd out.
That's got to hit him in the morale pretty hard.
That one kill, by the way, results in a 1,600 gold swing. One kill at 19 minutes.
Well, they'll need a couple more of those. Let's see if they can get it.
They'll need about a dozen.
All right, Diffusal complete, so that just significantly enhances all the damage from himself and, of course, all those illusions in a veil quickly thereafter.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I like this pickup quite a bit when you're so far ahead, you're able to really utilize. Normally you expect, like, Scotty or something like that. Ush is caught.
Yeah, he's caught out. They move him from behind. They're going to be able to catch him out. Even a blast coming out through. He has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide except throwing into his own grave. He's going to be dropped. Credit, of course, to that ward to spot him on out. And RB, you're going to be losing the precious Corvette. Oh man, just one after the other. Nobody is safe. Z-Freak's there to cut him on off. He's going to be forced to soul rip, drop down the tombstone, and he is trying to hightail it out. Hiding in the trees. There's nowhere to hide when we break down those trees, but here comes help in the form of MSS. Charging on in, but it's not enough to save him. Fog, double Sprout going to be caught between him and Korok. The A going to be unleashed here. Rush ends up going down. Same with Fog, and now Korok going to be dropped. MSS in trouble. He's gone down. I think this might be quickly over, Cap. This is looking like a Quinn 3-0 sweep, and it's over. They're done. They are broken.
North American Rejects, I mean, everything feels like it's against them, whether it was like just some of complexities like stellar play, but their play style was clearly well set up against North American Rejects, and either whether it was their style, but also like some of the drafting, and then they've got just such a long day that they had, and all the pauses and lagging and everything else, man. It's just, everything was set against North American Rejects that